Judge Mablean will be life, because in everything you do, it involves the law.
You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
Put it on one.
You don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What do you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Renee Brown is suing her mother, Donda Brown, in the amount of $7,500. Ms. Brown claims her mother pulled out her hair when they got into a fight. Ms. Brown claims she shouldn't be blamed for the plaintiff's lack of hair.
All right. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
Right. You may be seated. In the matter of Renee Brown versus Donda Brown, mother and daughter having a fight, and now you want mama to pay $7,500 for you to get some reconstructive hair surgery. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me hear about that.
Your Honor, I'm suing my mother for $7,500 because there was an incident at my house where I came home early from work one day, and my daughter had a young man in the bedroom with her. And
How
my
old is your daughter?
18. She was 18 at the time.
And is this the young lady that's seated over here?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's her name?
Shayna.
Okay. And then what happened?
So, Your Honor, I had already set rules that no guests were allowed into my home when I was not at home. And my daughter decided to bring the young man in anyway. So I asked him to leave. Me and my daughter began to argue verbally, and we started to scuffle. She got up in my face, and I braced back up on her, and I told her to back down. And she got up in my face again and put her hand in my face, and I just defended myself. We started scuffling.
What did you do when you just defended yourself? Tell me what you did. I'll determine whether it was defense or offense.
Your Honor, she put her hand in my face and pointed her finger into my face, and I moved her hand out of the way.
Okay,
and so
what happened?
And then she struck at me, and I hit her back.
She struck at you, or did she strike you?
She struck me. She hit me, and I hit her back. I actually pushed her, and she fell back. And she got up, and we just went at it again. And so she gets on the phone and called my mother, and had my mother to come over for her to her defense. My mother come rushing over, and she jumps in, and my mother just pulls me by my hair. She could have pulled me by my shirt. She could have yelled stop, but she pulled me by my hair, and she pulled so hard. She pulled several of my braids out of my hair, tore hair right out of my edges.
So you were wearing braids then?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's the $7,500?
I have evidence here that shows the damages to my hair and the consultation I had with the surgeon.
How many braids did she pull out?
She pulled 6 out on the left side, and she pulled 3 braids out on the right side.
Good grief, how can she do that?
Well, this looks like a whole lot of hair missing, not just edges.
Your Honor?
Your mother didn't cause this much damage for that one particular time.
That's not the truth.
And it says the quote for the surgical procedure is this is for plastic surgery.
Yes, Your Honor. In order for me to start growing my hair back naturally, the implants would help my hair to grow back.
So implants. Your mother didn't pull all that hair out in that tug of war.
Ma'am, she did. She did. My hair was already thinning, but my hair had started to grow. My hair was fragile, but my hair was growing out. And she knew that already, and she decided to pull at my hair. And she pulled so aggressively, she just yanked, and the hair just came straight out.
All right, let me hear from Mother. You look like the sweetest little thing. What you talking about? You over here fighting somebody? Please.
Your Honor, my child, Renee, she's been a very abusive child all her life. I can't, there's nothing I could have done to raise her right. At 16, she had a child. She abuses her. She doesn't talk to her. She treats her like a kid. She can't have any company in the house, whether they're her friends from school or whatever, but she doesn't want any visitors in her house at all. So most of the time, she comes over to my house, and I help her with her homework and all that. This particular day, my granddaughter called me and said that her mother was going crazy, and she know that something bad is going to happen. So I should please come over and see what's going on. When I got there, to my surprise, she was over her.
Who she was over her?
My daughter, Renee, was fighting with my granddaughter, and I was afraid. I didn't know what to do because it seemed like she was about to really hurt her. You know, the girl was on the floor, and she was over her, pounding her and all that. And so the only thing I could physically do was to pull her hair. Mind you, Your Honor, her hair has been thinning out for years. I have a thing here. This is to show you how her hair was. She was totally balding, I think, after she got pregnant.
Your Honor, that's not true.
And why is she wearing a wig right now? It's because she has no hair.
Your Honor, I texted her that picture when I was first going through hair loss. I texted her that picture.
That's what the point is. The hair loss isn't just because.
But my hair, as you can see, my hair had filled in more than that.
It has, but it didn't just begin. But I want to hear from daughter. Come up here, Shayna. Now, I noticed when the bailiff was swearing you all in, you sat there looking evil. So raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give that this court shall be the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Now, tell me what happened on this particular day with you and your mom, because Grandma came in on the end.
Your Honor, I am sick and tired of my mother completely just bringing up her childhood, saying that her mother mistreated her and that she was treated unfairly. Like, she blames the world for everything. Like, I haven't done anything wrong to her. I do the best I can. I just want a relationship with her. Like,
what do you mean you haven't done anything wrong? Were you at the house with a little boy, a young man, in the bed at your mama's house? Yes or no?
I was, but...
You was, but what?
Is this any different from what she did? Like, I'm not the kind of person to go out and get pregnant. That's her. She's worried that I'm going to end up like her.
Wait a minute. So because your mother got pregnant at 16, you are telling me, and it sounds like your grandmother said the same thing, that justifies your behavior?
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Renee Brown, who is suing Donda Brown for $7,500.
Your mother says, this is my house, I pay the bills, you're 18, you're considered an adult. I don't want anybody at my house when I'm not here. If you want somebody to come over, why you just can't go get your own house?
Because I was 18, she has people over all the time.
I didn't ask you about your mother. That's her house, she can do whatever she wants to. Why don't you go get your own house is my question to you.
Well, I moved out with my grandmother because she's a lot more fair than she is.
Okay, so that's because you think that you ought to be able to do what you want to do because you're 18 at your mother's house.
No.
Is that your belief?
I followed her rule most of the time. The guy who was over, we weren't doing anything.
Why is he in your bedroom in the bed?
We were watching a movie.
In the bed?
Yes.
You don't have a living room? You don't have a den? You don't have another room that has a bed that you can sit up straight with your clothes on?
At 18 years old, I should be able to have someone come over and watch a movie. It's innocent.
18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, 50 years old. If you live in your mama's house or anybody else's house that is not yours and you're not paying the bills, you don't have, there's no such thing as I should be able to do what I want to do. That's why when you want to do what you want to do, you go get your own. You're at mama's house.
Hello.
She gets to call all the shots.
Yes.
If you don't like it, then you got to leave. You have another choice. Don't live with her. You need to understand that not only in mother's house, but in anything where you're not in control. And you're not calling it. You get a job, the employer says you need to be here at 9 o'clock, you need to do X, Y, Z. I don't think that's fair. Life isn't fair. I'll be the first to tell you that.
Okay, I don't think she had a right to attack me though. I didn't attack her first. She came in.
Did you put your finger in her face?
We were in an argument, so I didn't have it in her face. I went like this, and she grabbed me.
So why do you just not have the boy over? Why do you just tell him to leave before mama comes? Why could that be an alternative? Leave before mama comes because she's going to be angry.
I was going to be honest with her and say, yes, I brought him over, but I should be able to have someone over if I want to.
Okay, let me tell you something. If you know a person is crazy, why are you going to set them off? That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You need to tell your granddaughter that. Girl, you know your mama crazy.
She understands that, yeah. She understands. That's
So
why she
don't do
comes
anything
over.
to upset her.
That's why she moved over with me. So
Okay, and
to get away
so-
from her mother.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not going to order your mother to pay $7,500 for no reconstructive surgery. I'm not going to do it. This is a horrible situation, and your mother was pulling you off the child because unfortunately the two of you are fighting, and she needed to pull you off. Now you got to live with that.
she could have pulled me by my
And you
shirt.
could not have knocked her down. If we gonna talk about shoulda, coulda, woulda, she could not have had a boy over there. You could not have had her at 16. How far back we gonna go? How far we gonna go on this coulda, shoulda, or woulda? Now you all need to get into some family counseling and try to resolve all of these issues from the past
We do.
and everything else, so you can become a family again. But I'm not ordering her to pay for your hair. Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant.